to breathe. Remember to breathe. Watch it. Car high.
Vibish do, fellow reloaders. This is Jace coming to you with Not Your Common Ammo. Now, today's video, we're going to be going over a few things that we went in depth on the last video, and we're going to kind of hit the thing that we glossed over. Now, the thing we glossed over was actually reloading. Now, the thing we went in depth on was primers. Now, Corey8791 gave me a great comment. Love it. Thanks, Corey. That comment was, you can use match heads to reload your primers. Yes, you can. You can take the wooden matchstick and crunch the end off with a pair of pliers. Be very careful doing so. Or you can use a knife and scrape it off and crush it down with a mortar and pestle. I wouldn't use like a hammer or bang it very hard. You can use the red phosphorus off the side of the strike anywhere and mix that together. And at that point, it's really kind of combustible. So be very careful at doing it. Corey also gave me a good reference, and I'll link that video right there. And again, thanks, Corey. Thank you very much for your input. I appreciate it. All right. So with that being said, we're going to move on, and we are going to reload. All right. So there are two schools of thought here. Okay. We're going to put our primers on because we've already prepped our brass. We've measured our brass. Our brass is good. Okay. So we're going to continue on with this. Now, there's two ways to prime. Priming on the press. Priming on the press, which requires this little doohickey right here, this little priming tool. I call it a doohickey. So use this tool right here to prime on the press. And then off of the press, you use the hand primer, which I've gotten set up right here. We've got our factory die crimp. We've got our powders and everything ready to go. We've got our projectiles ready to go as well. Okay. Now, to go into your primers, I'm going to do this all one-handed. What you do is you bring this up, right? So we've got our ram up just high enough, and we've got this little slot right here, okay? So if you look real close, you can see right through. You see that right there? That's where the primers drop out when you deprime. The way they drop out is this guy's in there, okay? This guy comes in, you bring him in, and you set, let me see if I can get a good angle here. You set him in, and he just kind of rides right there. Okay? See how it kind of sticks off just a bit? Alright? That's how he's supposed to go. Okay? Now, at this point, you take your primer, which I got a little cup for my primers. You get your little primer, and you put your primer into that little cup holder right there. Just about, if I could hit what I was aiming at, just like that. Okay? See how that's sitting in there? All right. There's only one real way to screw this up, and that is by not getting that in right. And if you don't get it in right, you could then take your deep priming tool and deprime it. But I would be very careful at doing that if I would do it any at all. I mean, you could put it in your weapon and just pull the trigger and redo it. I mean, that's kind of what I would do because it removes the possibility of a detonation. Okay, so when we're putting our projectiles in, we're going to be moving up. Every other time we're going to be moving up. When we're putting our primer in, we're going to be moving down. See how that moves back in there? And you just seat that booger just like that. Okay? I'm not giving a whole lot of pressure. I'm just seating it. Okay? It seats to the correct depth. And then up we go. and it is. Okay, now you don't want your primers to be too far in, and you don't want them to be too far out. You want them to be kind of level. That's maybe just a little bit too much. I wouldn't think so. It's indented just a bit. I gave it a little bit more what for than I should have. So that was on me. But it will still, it'll work. It'll just add a little pressure, a little more pressure to the detonation of the said. Oh, we lost an anvil. Okay, so we're gonna have to find that one. It'll add to the detonation of the primer itself. So I think what we're looking for is that one right there. It looks like we might have to do something about that one. So again, you put your cup in. See, if I left it like that and went in, it would not be pretty. Yeah, that'd be me redoing this. Okay, you gotta make sure that your cup is in there, nice and even. Me being the in there just like that. There we go. See, I'm looking through a camera right now, and I'm not looking at what I'm doing, which I should be. And just kind of getting her in there. Come on now. Get in there. Alright, you don't want to go? We'll just go with another one. Just put you in there. Okay, there we go. Put it in there, and then again you bring it up, and I don't have to, I can even, check what I'm doing as I'm doing that. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more. Bring it in. A little bit more. There we go. There we go. And there you go. Flat across the bottom, and we're good to go. Okay? Now, I always work from right to left. Okay? So I know that anything over here is empty. Anything over here, I've taken care of. Okay? I've worked on. Alright? So we're gonna take, so we just keep plugging away, and we'll just we'll finish here priming on the press, and then we'll turn around and we will prime off the press. Okay? Again, you gotta check to make sure you got one in there. There it is. Press in. See that it gets in there. So, and it automatically reloads another one in there. So you're good to go. And there you go. I don't know if I like priming on the press as much as I do hand priming. Hand priming, it just kind of automatically just falls into place for you. There are pros and cons to it. Like right now, if one gets stuck, then you really got to work to get your primer back out. Okay, or like now, one didn't load in, so you can kind of coax the loader in. Kind of got to coax him in there, and if he doesn't want to go, well, he ain't gonna go. Okay, and that's that. I mean, there we go. And again, here we go. We got one that's half in and half out again. So that means that we've got to pull this off, which is what I'm going to do. And then take the little handle off, take this off. See, and there's a primer right there. So what we'll do is we'll take that down. We'll put this in. Okay. And then you take this guy up there, just like that. And then you gotta kind of worry him in there. Yeah, go for it just a little bit more. There we go. And then you gotta kind of gotta give him a little bit of a what foreign. There you go. And maybe, just maybe. There we go. See, it takes a little bit of finagling to get yourself in that position again to put your next primer in. So there we go. And that one went pretty easily. Yep, went a little bit too far too. So that's what happens when you go a little bit too far. There's a little bit of indent there. All right. So that's our priming. With priming being done, we're going to move on to doing the powders. All right, so there are two ways of doing the powder. Okay, you can do it with the perfect powder measure, which I did the last time, which was really kind of, yeah, I liked it. It was pretty cool. Now, the second way you can do it is like this. Now, when you get your dyes, the perfect, these guys, the Lee Pace Setter dyes, you get this little guy right here. Okay? It comes standard with it. Okay? And if you look on there, it is 2.8 cc's. And that says caution, use with Lee charge table. Okay? And what you do is you take this, set that there, go down in there, go down in there, and then you come back okay, until that starts to balance out. So this will work if you don't have like 200 pieces of brass to do. And which is, you know, then you'd want to do it with the with this guy, which I did the last time, the perfect powder measure. You'll want to do it with that because that one throws a little bit. You can do mass amounts in just a little bit of time. All right, so I think we are just about there. Okay, the only problem with this is that if you put too much in, you're gonna have to dig out. Okay, so we're gonna do this just a couple grains at a time, and that's right there. So we're almost just a little bit more, just a couple grains. I mean, that's the accuracy of this thing, is that we're just about there. I mean, we're just doing a couple kernels at a time. And there we go. We're right there. I'm thinking just another couple kernels. And we're in there. And then you take this and you get your funnel and you pour it in. And there you go. Now that one's ready to be seeded with projectile. So I've refined my my process a little bit because it was taking too long to scoop So what I do is I set my perfect power measure, get it within the range. Okay, so we're kind of within there. Okay, and then I scoop the powder, just a little bit of powder right there, and then I bring it in, and I say, okay, I'm just gonna tap, add a few grains, watch it center out, maybe a couple more kernels, and if that's way too much, dump that in there. If that's way too much, like right now we're way over, I just go in, scoop a tad bit out. Okay, so now I know I'm under. So the in between is in here. Okay, it's in my yellow. All right. So I take and I just add a couple kernels here and there. And just like that, we're in there. Alright? Alright, so then I take and I put it in the casing and we're off to the races. So I've got my projectile. What I've been doing is, what I'll do is I'll start way out and then I'll work my way in to getting to the right size. And then I'll bring it over. You can see the ram there. Take the ram, put it on. Angle this up just a bit. Put my projectile in there. Take it down. Rotate it 90 degrees. Do another one. And that's where I want to be. Okay? Now, what we'll do after this is we run the comparator all the way out to, how should I say, 2.3, all the way out to 2.9. Now, do I think that that is me missing, or do I think that is the non-match grade that I'm using? Because I'm not using matched ammo or matched ballistics. I am using the Hornady, just regular stuff. Yeah, I'm using Hornady. I'm just using their regular stuff. So, do I think it's me, or do I think it's the non-match grade? Like, every single one, I'm getting within consistency, within a couple of thousandths every time I measure. So, do I think it's me, or do I think it's the projectiles? I think it's the projectiles. Because, like I said, they're not match grade, and them not being match grade, there's going to be a little bit of variety, a little bit of difference from tip to ogive. You know, there's going to be a bit of a difference. Okay, but like I said, my consistency is, if I show my consistency is still within. I'm just going to set this down, folks. My consistency is right there. So I've had 808, 08, 03, 08, 69, and these are the oddballs over here. These are the 2.69699. So, do I think it's me, or do I think it's the projectiles? I think it's the projectiles. And now I am just going through, after measuring everything and making sure we're all good, I am just adding a factory crimp right along the top. Is it necessary? No, but for aesthetic reasons, it also kind of helps with your accuracy as well. It helps kind of keep the gases and everything in there. And it's just one of those things that, you know, after reloading, you know, you start there and you do your thing and you see, put your stuff off to the side and you make sure that everything is all correct and good and that it's all put in there. And this is the easier part of the reloading process, because you just put the factory crimp on, tighten it down, and then give her a little bit of a push down, and there you are, you're crimped. Now, I could make a heavier crimp. I don't know if I need to. I've got a pretty heavy crimp on there right now, but I could make a harder crimp. I could put a heavier crimp on there, or I could lighten it up just a bit. I think I'm like within normal, you know, just a little bit of a crimp on there, and we're good to go. Now, one more thing that we've got to do, and I've kind of teased this a little bit. You kind of might have seen it in the background in some of the reloading stuff that I've been doing today. Yeah, you might have seen it in the background. There's some things in the background that I have made, and we'll show a couple videos of that, and I'll let you guys know that right now. Yep, we're looking at this is the 4F, 4.5F. This is 3F, and that's gun cotton. Well, that's 3F and gun cotton in the middle. It's a mix of the two. Okay, so we'll take a look at those, folks. That's it for the reloading. I mean, if you stuck with me this far, we've got our reloading is done. It is time to clean up the house and do what comes after reloading. So what comes after reloading? The fun part, shooting. So I'll do the black powder here, and I've been doing a lot of research on the black powder. And folks, if you want me to show you how to make black powder, by all means, just hit the like, subscribe, and then comment down below, just like Corey did. All right, guys? I'll see you in a few moments. I'm going to show you how the